Hello again, guys, and welcome to another episode of On the Range podcast with War HOGG Tactical and Kelley Defense. I am your host, Mark Kelley, and along with my co-host, Rick Hogg. How's it going today, buddy?
Man, Mark, it's going great. Just want to thank the viewers, listeners out there for giving us your most precious commodity, your time to tune in. From the War HOGG Tactical side, it's kind of a big day. So a couple things for those of you that may not know. So my Combat Assault Dog Duco, he passed away this day last year. And here's the thing. Been talking to you guys about launching this canine product line. Well, here's the deal. It's out there today. So kind of in honor to him, just quick kicking the can down the road and execute. So yeah, we've got some leashes on it at the start. And yeah, Mark, it's been a roller coaster emotional day. Kind of get those emotions thinking about him, get those high emotions launching this new product line. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, yeah, going great, buddy. How about you?
Doing good, man. Wherever you are, guys, thank you for making this part of your day. Don't forget to check out, do a little bit of housekeeping. I can't wait to talk about this product. It's freaking phenomenal. And we'll talk about 5 July and how it's changed our lives. But don't forget to go to our websites at warhogg.com and kelleydefense.com. You can check out Duco's In Honor Duco project that Rick put together with Scott's Wish. You can donate directly. There's some other events that they have going on. They usually keep the updates. So sign up for those email lists and newsletters. Also, make sure while you're at both of those websites, you check out OTR Training on Demand. Super excited about this. It's your one-stop video training catalog. You can also support the show by going to patreon.com/On the Range podcast. Become a Patreon member. Join the Zoom calls twice a month. It's a lot of fun. It's a global group, great people. And, we've been talking about this product that we got on board with, and they reached out to us, and that's manscaped.com. You can see the picture of the Performance Package 4.0. So make sure you go to manscaped.com, promo code OTR20. Save yourself 20% and get free worldwide shipping. We'll talk about that a little bit later, though. But yeah 5 July, last year it was difficult for you. It was difficult as your friend to, watch the family going through that. He had battled his illness, which I'm sure you'll talk about real quick for those who are new to the show. And it was also a neat time shortly thereafter his passing to everybody coming out of the woodwork, talking about their experience with Duco. And I was lucky enough to spend some time with him, and his celebrity was unbelievable. He'd show up to events, man. The freaking excitement would go up to an 11. Hey, man, what we learned today? Oh, we're learning all kinds of stuff. Hey, where's the dog, man?
Dude, that was it, man. It was always, hey, where's the dog at?
Yeah.
And, I made the mistake early on bringing him to a couple events, right? And, man, nobody wanted to do nothing. It's like, hey, man, let's go mess with the dog. Hey, what can the dog do? I'm like, dude, we're here to train, It's like, nope.
Yeah.
No, so then it was, on some of the local stuff, it was easy. Slap him in the truck, go for a truck ride. Too easy, right? You start flying cross country. Now you're hauling gun boxes. Now you want to start hauling the dog. It's like, yeah, dude, it's not the most advantageous thing to do. But yeah, man, he was just, he was such a big part of our lives. It's, hate to use the old selfish plug, but the warhogg.com, we got a whole about section in honor of Duco, kind of lays out all that stuff there.
Yeah, for sure.
The hardest thing I think for me is it's one of those that, some people go, well, it's just a dog. Well, what's it matter? And, got it. But it's the bond that's formed on the battlefield. It's, you expect your mates to save your life. Well, Duco is part of our, pack, and he is a mate, but it's like, dude, nobody ever thinks about that added step, man. Hey, I'm on this planet today because of that dog. And I think that's where a lot of the emotions roll in. His assault vest is, if I get my finger going right, boom, still hanging right there. The one, the only, right? But that's the part. Some guys get it and some guys will never understand it. Hey, sorry for the loss of your dog. It's like, dude, it's part of my soul that's gone, right? He was that much of a part of me. He was basically an extension of me on the battlefield. And it's just, for those of you that haven't gone to combat, and I'm not saying anything bad, but it's just the relationships form there between men, and then obviously with the GWAT, with beasts, because I think the only beasts we had over there were some camels that were trying to like spit at us or something. But anyway, it's just that's the dynamic of that. And then just to watch his transformation from retirement, us retiring together, coming to the house, mama being kind of, oh, I've got this dog that I kind of know what he's done or what he's capable of, and I don't know if I kind of want him at the house. And then next, they're best of buddies. So yeah, I mean, it was just and it's not just a day, so a lot of people think similar to Memorial Day. Hey man, it's this day, dude. For some of us, it's every single day, and how you deal with grief and how you mourn and all that other stuff. Everyone's going to go on figure out their own paths to take. But I will tell you this, if you just sit there and let it fester or don't do anything with it, super unhealthy. You've got to figure out what your process is. And, you think about Joe Andres, who was killed December 24, 2005. Joe was my Achilles heel for the longest time. I didn't mourn for Joe for God, man. Almost 12, 13 years or something crazy till I retired. And that's what people got to understand. I mean, it's not, I got it. You do it for survival, as a Joe, but man, it is not a good thing to do. So figure out whatever that grief mourning process is, and it's healthy to do. And understand you're going to have ebbs and flows. It's just not, I thank everybody out there, July 5th. Hey man, how you doing? Crappy, I did crappy 3 days ago. I mean, I could be crappy a week down the road. I mean, it hits you in ebbs and flows. So, yeah, it's just the grief cycle. But here's the thing. And Pat Mack, I mean, my man's got some sound words, right? And, I spoke to Pat shortly after I lost Duco, and he was like, hey man, that dog lived, and he lived a great life. And it was kind of one of those pimp slaps to the face. It's like, yeah, man, you're right. He did. So, that's where you got to kind of shift gears and go, yeah, you're sad for the loss, but then it's like this whole In Honor of Duco project, the whole In Honor of Duco,
right?
Loop leash, canine product line. I mean, there's so much more to it. I mean, you look at Explosive Apparel Design and their hat, the Black Beard and Friend In Honor of Duco series. I mean, I got the flag from right there, that
did Ricky Harris do that for you?
No, Sonny up at Clinton, Connecticut PD.
Okay.
Sent me that one. So the one that's up there, the bone one, Ricky Harris
that's
did that
badass
one
too. Yeah.
So I mean, there's just such an outpouring. I mean, you got Teutonic Distillery and the In Honor Duco maple flavor bourbon. I mean, there was just so much support, and that's the part that, yeah, us doing our video with 511, him retrieving a rifle. But I mean, that's how much of a stellar dog he was. But the support and the outpouring post his loss was just absolutely incredible, man. And that's the part that, really people show their true colors. It's like, hey man, what can we do to support? What can we do to help? Hey man, I was doing this, the whole In Honor or the whole Blackbeard and Friends. I was in the process of doing this, but man, I'd like to do that in honor of Duco. It's like, yeah, right. Thank you. So, yeah. Why did I wait till today? Because it was either execute on July 5th, the launch of the K9 product line, or I'm just going to kick the can further down the road. And we had some setbacks. Obviously, we were going to launch around his time, and then losing him, and then having to get set up with trying to get some new remade labels. And of course, we were still kind of quasi COVID-esque error and just weird times, right? But not to make any excuses. It's done, dude. It's as soon as we get off this thing, the email blast is going to go out for all those in the newsletter. The video's done. The new remade tags are there. I did put a note to on the form there, or on the website, that I do have some original leashes that don't have the In Honor of Duco on there. We're gonna.
Are you still going to push those out too? Sell them? Or?
Well, they're my reserve. They're my backup.
Okay.
Right. So I don't want to rip labels, be undoing bar tacking, but they're going to be my backup. So it's just, there's a little note on there. Hey man, we do have some. I don't want to have to tap into them if I don't have to. But here's the thing. I don't know. Once we launch this thing out, I don't know where it's going to go. So it's kind of like any launch of a new product line. You get it out there, get the word out, and yeah, man, I'm excited to be in that space. And then we're just not stopping at the leash. I mean, we've got other things in the hopper. But again, U.S. manufacturing. I mean, that's one thing I will not give in. People say, "Hey, man, I got factories in China and Indonesia." Dude, get bent. I said, You know what? I said, I want. Here's the thing. So I'll show you. So it's kind of. Wish the GoPro was going for a little better, but you can see right there.
Oh yeah, you can see that. Yeah.
Made in the USA, right? And then so what we had to do is get the tan label, which is the remade label. We had to re-get those done, so you can see the In Honor
that's
Duco
cool.
up on top. So that had to get redone. But yeah, I mean, this was the leash. We did a short, quick promo video because it's like, dude, I can't be chatting my mouth for 10 minutes and people are going to get bored and bail. And so I think we got about a 2-minute and 30-second quick promo video on this thing. Quick, down and dirty for the viewers, listeners. The leash was actually designed over in Afghanistan. So the thing was, we're running and you can see on Duke's Fest, I still got his original. So it's hard to tell, but I got his original leash there that, of course, I made. But the problem is when your hands get wet or your gloves get wet, nylon and leather don't work as a good combo, and this thing wants to slide out. So what I was like is, well, what if I put a loop type system to better control, and then obviously I can also control his distance. We got to think about things snagging, things catching, but the beauty is when this thing goes, man, it gets taut, so you don't have any snag hazards on there. And again, it's just not a mill LE application. It's everyday pet owner, right? So think about it. You got people trying to clasp on the leashes and they're still sliding through their hands, where now you've got the loops at incremental places that now I can actually just use an open palm, cause, a lot less strength required to hold your dog. Of course, it had to be a good brass buckle. That's, just one of my things whenever I was building my leashes. Hey, we always use brass buckles. The bungee cord, everyone goes, what's the bungee cord for? And I'm waiting to see, because I don't know of another leash that has a bungee cord on there. And yes, my original's got an old bungee on there as well. So don't say, oh yeah, I came up with this idea. I'll say, you're a liar. Because the cool thing with the bungee is that's it right there. So now you've got it in a nice, neat package. So again, doesn't matter, civilian, military, law enforcement, that's a nice place versus this big old wad of rubbish floating around. And then the other part is when you're looking at the loop system, and if you remember that video we did with 511, I can sit there and basically have an improvised lanyard, much like I used when I was on active duty. But the thing is, you think about, hey, of course, my girlish small waist right there, but you put that around your waist. Now I can go hands free with my dog and kind of sit there and go, hey, if I want to sit there and have two hands or do whatever, gives you that option. Last but not least, again, with the whole loop system, if you want a back tie, so for example, hey, you're going out to eat somewhere, you sit there and go, hey, let me hook him on the table, on a tree, on a picnic table, whatever the case may be. He's not bolting. Well, how many times we've been out in public and they've got a flat leash, and you see them, man, they'll put their foot on there thinking that that's going to stop. And then next thing you know, the dog goes and that leash just goes. Poof. Well, the beauty is with the loop portion, I can put my foot right there. That dog ain't getting past that point. short of pulling my leg off, but it's not like a standard regular flat leash where that thing is going to slide. So that's kind of just the quick mechanics behind the loop leash. It's like anything else in manufacturing industry. I'm sure at some point somebody's going to want to rip us off. Here's all I'm going to say is if you are, just stick the in honor of Duco on there. That's the whole,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the driving factor behind it. So all of our product lines that we're getting ready to launch, everything will be in honor of Duco. So again, we're looking at just US right now. I don't have the legs to start doing international and all that other stuff. But yeah, when we start getting handle on the US, maybe we'll look at, hey, somebody helping us out with distro and fulfillment and all that other stuff. But yeah, that's where we're sitting at, man. So definitely it's been an experience. You talk about the 1% better every single day, dude. If I could lay out the whole evolution of this leash, man, the patenting process, the people looking to do licensing agreements, just all the lessons learned from this U.S. manufacturing. It's been a great ride, but it was time just to go, hey man, it's time just to launch this thing. Let's get it out there, get her done. And what a better day than on the anniversary to sit there and go, hey, the K9 product line is launched. I've been telling you guys about it. Here we go. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk a little bit more about Duco and some of the things that are happening. And then I also want to ask, I got a couple questions about the lease, so we make sure that everybody has the information on how to get it and what's going to happen with that. But first, guys, super excited about these guys coming on board and trusting us with help pushing their great products. And that's Manscaped. And support for On the Range podcast and the whole OTR universe is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming. And they have precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Love that. Love that. They sent us the Performance Package 4.0. Man, that stuff is great.
Dude.
It's unbelievable.
That package, I mean, here's the deal. A lot of people go, I'm getting a package, right? Whatever. Dude, man, that thing is spot on the way they've just put everything together. Get you some new comfy britches. And hey, here's the thing. I'm a true commando, right? I typically go commando because that's what commandos do, right? Got those things. I was like, check this out. I'm chasing mama around with my freaking Manscaped britches last night going, come here, woman.
Oh, man. Yeah, they are super comfortable. They also have an option where you can add additional boxer drawers to the Ultimate Performance Package. And it's good stuff, man. I haven't had any complaints. I've had a couple people call back and say, man, thanks for the promo code. This stuff is great. But according to Manscaped, over 4 million men have trusted them with the Performance Package. So take advantage of that 20% off, because that is a lot of balls that are saying that this stuff works. It's a lot, but that performance, that's a lot. But, the engineering's great. It's got a great hand feel. It's rechargeable. It's got the ceramic blade on the lawnmower, and the weed whacker is the same way for the ear and nose hair. They have a lot of other products that are great. And the stuff that they sent us has just been impressive. And like we've said before, we do not get impressed very much, but Manscaped has definitely impressed us with all their stuff.
Yeah. And here's the last thing, it's funny because they've kind of, you just need people are probably going, hey, what's this lawnmower 4.0? What's this weed whacker, right? What are these yard tools? Well, the cool thing is with the Manscaped products, right? You get a nice shed to put all your tools into. So it just, they really thought out their whole naming, their whole product line. So spot on for those guys, and definitely guys, go check them out at manscaped.com.
Yeah. If you haven't had a shave from any of the Manscaped products, let me tell you something. It's an adventure, bros. And it is. And here's another thing too, ladies, if your significant other, your man, needs to pick up his grooming standard in his game, now's the time to do it and take advantage of the promo code OTR20. OTR20 saves you 20% off your total purchase and gets you free worldwide shipping. So go check out manscaped.com. Appreciate those guys.
Yeah, buddy.
So, Rick, I wanted to ask a couple of questions about the product, but I wanted to, while this is still on my mind, a lot of times these proud animals these beasts of the battlefield don't transition all that great. Sometimes they just don't. Sometimes it's difficult for them, and sometimes it doesn't work out, and sometimes it's just worst case scenario, and there's a separation involved. It was so cool to see Duco totally embrace that. And like you said, when you're traveling and you couldn't really take him all the time, he wasn't being mistreated by Mama War HOGG Tactical by any stretch of the means.
Mama
he was digging that
dude,
pretty much.
Mama, see, here's the thing, right? Mama was training him how to be a house dog, 100%. But let me put some things in context, right? So when you look at kind of Duco, do I fully know his whole backstory as far as him being born in Holland, what he all did? I don't. But I'm going to make the assumption he probably lived a pretty good family life in a house. My first dog, Marco, we got him from the Czech Republic. That poor guy, man, I believe he just lived chained to an engine block and chucked some old pieces of chicken once in a while. He was just, he was a different beast, right? But I think Duco had a pretty good upbringing. And it's one of those that it did not affect him. His drive, his determination, his beastness on the battlefield, what that dog could do to a man, you're just like, good Lord. Did I tell Mama War HOGG all the stories? Bits and pieces, right? She knows broad brush. Listen to the podcast here about freaking breaking men's bones and sucking flesh down and all this other, but I don't think she wanted to, look at that because again, he transitioned so well. And I kind of knew, so looking at the two dogs, right? So my two primary dogs that I worked, Marco and Duco, I told myself, I was going to bring Marco home, but he would not have been a good fit. He was a very edgy dog. Duco, he came home, if I recollect correctly, the Christmas of 2012. So I'd had him for a combat rotation, probably, 7-8 months, I guess. And he was already home for Christmas time. Now, our dogs aren't supposed to come home, but we opted to get him gastropexied. Excuse me, which just it's basically attaching their stomach to their inside so that it reduces the chance of them getting bloat. And yeah, dude, he he had to be there because we had to keep constant medical watch on him. So you didn't want him in the kennel all smashing cones off and licking wounds and just causing dramas. So that was a good part there, but he fully embraced that. We fully embraced him. And you kind of got going, yeah, dude, I think he's going to transition just well. And sure enough, he did, to watch. And I think that's the whole beauty with Duco that people don't get. It's like, hey, what made him so great? And it was really his personality. His ability to switch gears was absolutely just mind-boggling. He would sit there and just kind of paws crossed, just chilling out in the kennel, just doing whatever. But it was time to go. Dude, that dog went and he delivered business like nobody knows, right? Even on the helo, right? So he's so in tuned, slight rotor pitch change. And he's like, ears are up. He's like, is it game time? It's like, not yet, buddy. We still got another 20 minutes. So just chill out. But that was just how he was. I remember, for those in the dog world, Armin Winkler's kind of world renowned decoy. And, we're training with Armin one day. And this was after, Duco's already got a rotation under his belt. And Armin's sitting there closed fisted, just punching this dog in the head, trying to get him off the bite. And I mean, he's like smacking the crap out of him. And he's just driving harder and harder, kind of get done doing the bite work in the session there. And Armin's like, man, that dog's on it. And I was like, Armin, he's a proven dog, man. I was like, so, I mean, he had gotten his bites. Trust me, the wrecking force that dog's jaw had was just absolutely incredible. His whole full mouth bite. I mean, he was just an incredible dog, man. Do things that even amaze the boys sometimes on the battlefield. It's like, good God, man. And of course, I'll give you one example. And I'm not a big war story guy, but I'll tell you, I always try to train him just, verbal left and right. You just give him a little cue, left, right. Did he really know his left and right? Well, this one night, I don't know, but this one night, we're sending him in on target, um, and there's a breach on the left hand side that we want him to go into, and he's kind of about at that point. Man, I just holler out left. He makes a turn, hits the breach, goes in. I'm like, see that, man? That's dog training right there. Did we ever train it? Nope. Was it a fluke? I'm taking credit going, yeah, dude. We worked that one to a T, but
that's all
no,
training
man.
right there, boys.
Yeah, all training.
Yeah.
But the part, people need to understand, man, it's on one hand, it's like you've got a child. On the other hand, you've got a partner that'll save your life. He doesn't have thumbs to sit there and open doors, at least on the knob doors. And the lever doors, they figure out how to open that, or the push bar doors, he'll jailbreak all day long. But you got to sit there and feed him. You got to bathe him. You got to take care of him, especially in the battlefield. You got to be their advocate. Hey, man, send him over here. Yeah, it doesn't exactly make sense, so but it was looking at my time in the military, working him, absolutely part of the highlight, without a doubt. The flexibility that I was given on the battlefield to work him, position him, same thing with training, all that stuff, just absolutely incredible. So super big highlight, and just carrying it over into the civilian world and just all the different things we did. The one picture you had up there, him fetching the rifle, shortly after retirement, 5'11's going, hey, man, can that dog retrieve a rifle? I'm like, I don't see why I can't. We train that. Granted, I put some fire hose on there to protect his teeth because their little video wasn't worth me breaking off a canine. But yeah, I mean, it was off of, they were mimicking what they were doing for a video game. Like, yeah, he can do that. But then it's, here's the thing. When you have loss, there's tragedy in your life, but what comes of it? And that's where, yep, that's the picture, man. So the little tan part, that's actually fire hose over that fully weighted M4 rifle. I just didn't want to bust a canine on one of those pieces because it didn't make any sense to me. But yeah, dude, he picked up that skill lickety split. So, but really kind of transitioned. I mean, the after losing him, I kind of forget how I got linked up with Scott's Wish. So they're all volunteer, keyword, all volunteer. We collect no money, 501c3 that helps out both humans and animals. So Denise, the president, she was kind enough to bring us on board, kind of pitched this whole idea of the In Honor of Duco project. And yeah, dude, we're out basically helping guys that were in the situation I was in November 2020. When I found out he was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, and the clinic goes, yeah, we can save your dog's life and amputate that rear leg at a cost of $10,000. And you're like, good Lord, man, he's a veteran. I mean, that VA would take my leg off for nothing, right? Wouldn't charge me a dime. Right. So that's where, stepping back, thinking, saying, hey, I don't know. I'm a big believer, God puts things in your way. And somehow he did that with Denise and Scott's Wish. And we started the In Honor Duco project. And we're out helping handlers with their retired military working dogs. Now, I was selfish and said SOF, or Special Operations Forces canines, multi-purpose canine Leica, who lost her leg in Afghanistan. She was our first one to help out. I had another active duty handler actually reach out to me, was it 2 weeks ago? Granted, he did not have a true SOF canine. However, his canine did support SOF forces over in Afghanistan. We're like, all right. And he was kind of in a bad way. And I'm like, dude, we got you covered. We'll take care of your dog. And just when you tell another handler that, just the burden that comes off of them, that relief. So I sit there and go, part of me, yes, is emotional for losing Duco, and I wish he was still here today. But then at the same token, we're touching other lives out there via his loss, and it's a super powerful place to be. And last but not least, I'll say this: if you're listening, you know of any World War II, Korea, or Vietnam canine handlers, reach out, shoot me a message, because we're putting a documentary together. My World War II guys are hard. Korea's, let me rephrase. My World War II guys are the hardest. Korea's harder. My Vietnam guys, there's more of them still around. But we want to capture this history, and I think it's important, because we're going to make some change, hopefully next year, at the Reckoning 2022. We want to see these dogs get taken care of by the government. Tired of, why is it that I get benefits as a retiree? And I'm going to tell you straight up, I'll call a spade a spade. I know for a fact Duco served in a higher capacity than a lot of other people out there. And I'm not cutting down your service. I'm not saying that. I use the mere thing. I'm alive today because of that dog. And you're telling me when the Army gives me the leash and says, hey, have a good life, you get nothing, no benefits. You're willing to medevac him on the battlefield. You're willing to take care of him at whatever cost while he's active duty. But once he's retired, gone. Best of luck to you, man. Have a good life, and we'll see you. So, yeah, we want to get some things changed. Give these guys the respect they deserve. Give them the health care they deserve. It's kind of shocking they all seem to get cancer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But the In Honor of Duco project, along with Scott's Wish, has just been amazing. And I know you've had several events, several fundraisers. And like we said before, guys, you can always go to warhog.com and check it out and read up on Duco's bio and how the project is and what they're doing. And we usually are pretty good about getting the stuff that's coming up so that people can direct donate as well on the page.
You can direct
come up with.
Yeah, I was just saying, Mark, you can direct donate whenever you want.
Yeah, you can do that whenever. You don't have to wait for
No.
a special event or anything. But
nope.
I've got some ideas about some raffles we could do, and we're going to come up with some things and figure out how to work that piece so that everybody gets a fair shake at bidding on some of these badass items we'll have out there. But yeah, man, like you said, it was great having him around, and I know you guys, feel lucky to have had him for as long as you did. And his transition was great. I feel lucky to have been able to spend quite a bit of time with him. Just a great pal, man. And never forget 5 July. It's a different day now for us, but all the good that you and Duco Celebrity is doing now, it's unreal, and it's going to keep going, man. It's going to keep going, and it's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger.
Mark my words. You wait till next year. We've got some things, and I don't want to shoot my entire wad out there. What we've got, there's some big stuff coming. So buckle up your seatbelts, cinch them down tight, because that ride, man, it's going to be a rocket ship. And
But he was impactful. I mean, I think a few days after, he ended up getting on the logo, and he's been there ever since, and he's never coming off.
Yeah, buddy.
And I don't think we'll ever change that logo because of Duco.
Yeah.
Or we'll come up with something different, but he's definitely going to be on there.
100%, buddy. Yeah. So. And that was all you're doing too. It was
a pleasure.
That show art, that is all you. So yeah, buddy.
Yeah. It was great having him around, man. I'm glad to meet him.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, you've seen, we've been enjoying some hoists. Do you have a hoist with you today?
Yeah. I'm actually hitting me a little Kill Cliff CBD, man.
Oh yeah. We're gonna highlight them too. But Hoist, they're a supporter of all the outreach we do. They send us products so we can pass them out. Same with Kill Cliff.
Yep.
And also, if you go to our partner page and you check out all the promo codes we got there, not only do some of them support the show, but man, you get some real solid savings. And all these companies, we vet them pretty good, and they help out LEOs, they help out military, they help out a lot of folks. And they're always providing some product for the guys who come to our training and gals, and it's just great. But, make sure you go to warhog.com and kellydefense.com. Check out those industry partner pages and use those promo codes. But again, manscaped.com, promo code OTR20. Save yourself 20% off your total purchase and free worldwide shaving. Your confidence level is going to go up to here.
Oh,
you start
dude,
using these products.
I'm like, so check it out. I'm running around the house like an Adonis, right? It's like, hey, man. Be like, chase the woman around. Come here, woman.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You don't want to walk around looking like a freaking bum. Let's face it. You tighten that stuff up. Go to manscaped.com and use OTR20.
That's it, man.
So, anyway, great stuff, Rick. Can't wait to hear more about the products. And, like you said,
buddy.
that's going to go out and you're going to start pushing that stuff out. You got a video coming up. So, everybody be on the lookout for that. And, yeah, man.
Yeah,
good stuff.
By the time this launches, the promo video, the short one is out. That's the products on the website. Now it's just a matter, we got to get a newsletter blast should be cycling out here relatively shortly. And then, yeah, dude, it's game on and let's just go from there. So super excited.
Done. Yeah, man.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, pal. See you next time, Rick. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mark.